You can go all out on those oranges. Next time you have mosquito swarm, you can go all out on those oranges.
Hello, dudes and dudettes, we are back.
We hope you've been craving some weirdness because we've got a handful of that just for you on this edition of.
Off the beat, where everything's made up and the points don't matter.
Dude, wrong punchline.
Whose line is it anyway?
Our story begins at Taigan Safari Park, Crimea. You know, this is one of those safari parks where humans have created this weird simulated safari experience where the animal is just captive and you drive into the enclosure and sight them.
The whole setup there is so confusing for the animals. What happened there is a perfect example of that.
So, this lion was walking around minding its own business when it sighted a tourist jeep there. The lion slowly closed into the jeep and, in fact, even entered the jeep. Scary, right? Don't worry though, these lions have completely lost their instincts. They're basically teddy bears now.
To everyone's shock, Simba went a little too Hakuna Matata and started cuddling with the tourists.
Boy, if Scar ever sees this.
He'd be scarred. Moving on to story number 4. Ain't it sad when you've painted something, but it turns out to look like something else?
So Thomas Cook basically wanted to paint the name of their new brand on an aircraft. The name was supposed to read, I love cooks. But
they didn't factor in the sliding doors on which the K was printed, so when the door slid open, it looked something like this.
Our next story will teach you that if someone comes to you and says, I am bored, you better believe it. Otherwise, they'll go to any extent to prove it.
So this test pilot in South Australia was so bored of his routine work, he decided to spell out I am bored through his flight path so he could convey the message to his control room.
He now plans to do the same in Arabic and fly backwards.
Speaking of things flying and being bored, our next story is about mosquitoes.
A lady was on a hike somewhere near Mexico. The scene was beautiful. She was just reaching some fresh water when everything got ruined by the dreadful buzz.
After having battled the mosquitoes through the hike, she needed a break, so she stopped at a cafe. And to her shock, the mosquitoes vanished. And she realized the reason was because the cafe was serving food along with orange slices which were on flames.
Before we get to the number one story for this week, here's the travel picture of the week.
Alright, that brings us to the top pick of this episode. A man traveling from Iceland to England wanted to avoid paying excess baggage fee and decided to wear all his clothes.
But he didn't know that the fashion police were watching him.
8 pairs of pants and 10 shirts, and the strip search took forever.
So after a thoroughly long strip search, the guy got arrested. But hey, if you want to arrest people for bad fashion, just go to the Met Gala, right?
Alright guys, thanks for watching. That's a wrap, and please remember to subscribe, comment, share, scream, yell and jump.
And if you're ever planning to go to the airport wearing all your clothes, at least try looking like a bag.
That's right.